Nature of the self and its cultural concept. It is academically significant that the self will be studied, preserved, and understood. It is vital to know where a Filipino adolescent came from and what cultural reason he or she has embraced, where it is also personally necessary. Teenagers' interaction with people are sometimes slightly misjudged, misunderstood, or in other way around labeled and behaviorally complicated, could be a form of defense mechanism according to Sigmund Freud. A Philippine publisher book entitled Family the Set of Education has a beautiful message to every adolescent saying, every man made in the image and likeness of God deserves a minimum regard. But to the Filipino social acceptance has so strong and hold that it can be watered down or reduced to facility at getting along with others in such a way as to avoid outward sign of conflict. When rejected or criticized, the Filipino attitude has never been confrontational. He or she tries not to meet the issue head on. He or she avoids being brutally frank. He or she tiptoes around the premises before introducing a touchy topic. Sir, is acquired and preserved through what is commonly called pakikisama. Pakikisama comes from Tagalog root sama, which means to accompany or go along with. On other hand, pakikisama may be expressed positively in lusog or bayanihan. Utang na loob is first featured as part of Philippine life in 1663 when Colin said that the kabalangay of resident of the barangay attached to a dato may give of the proceed of his effort because of the paternalistic relationship between the ruler and the ruled. There is also an intra-family utang na loob, a Tagalog saying, ang hindi marunong lumingon sa pinanggalingan ay hindi makakarating sa paroroonan. Children are expected to be everlastingly grateful to their parents. Now, let's be realistic here. Comes with teenager needs to know that most parents want to A. Prevent children from self-pity over imperished situation. A. Prevent children from self-pity over impoverished situation. For example, prevent children feeling like you are a failure, feeling like life is unfair, thinking you deserve bad things, not accepting compliment as genuine but people just being nice. B. Preserve self-image or family. For example, recognize what you're good at. We're all good or something, whether it's cooking, singing, doing puzzle, or being friend. 2. Build positive relationship. Be kind of yourself. Learn to be assertive. Start saying no. Give yourself a challenge. C. Maintain family survival. For example, do your homework and learn from survivor. Be aware of natural traits in your area. Ready your health kit supply, ready your canned goods, and more. Self-awareness. There are a number of factors that the children should know about self-awareness. They should 1. Be aware that their own body is appearance, state, and size. Body image are more likely have a good physical and mental health. Girls and boys with negative thought and feeling about their bodies are more likely to develop certain mental health conditions such as eating disorders and depression. 2. Be able to refer to themselves appropriately through language and be able to distinguish description which apply to set and which do not. 3. Be aware of their own personal history experiences they have had, skill and abilities acquired, their own needs and wishes. Self-awareness is your ability to distinguish your own belief from others. You can step back and ask yourself, am I being true to myself at this moment? I spend much of life feeling like I don't need fit into feminine norms. It only shows that anyone can have self-awareness if he or she will be able to adapt and adjust from the impulse and pressures of people around. Likewise, if we live up on the expectation and literally act on the society's standard, then our well-balanced interpersonal strength would later develop into positive performance.
Positive emotional self-awareness. Mastering the self means being totally aware of who you are and what you are capable doing. This also means that you know your limitations and weaknesses. Collectively, we provide enough self-analysis as how to we need to counteract these negative differences and emotional fences. The best approaches that we can set are these. D. Knows of his her attitudinal boundaries and limitation. E. Traces the source why the situation conflict happen. F. Preempts the possible way if he she negatively respond. G. Determines the possible way if he she positively understand. H. Counts 100 before expressing emotion. Self-esteem. Self-esteem and family relationship found out the adolescents with thus family ties and mutually interacting were positively influenced that added high self-esteem. It is interesting that their study consider a better sense of perception towards family has a bigger connection with high self-esteem. How self interrelated with self-schemas. The differences between self-concept, self-esteem, social self, and self-knowledge are these. Self-concept is cognitive or perceptive bearing of this, the self, I am good listener. Self-esteem is evaluated and dogmatic, I am proud being a good listener. Social self is norma- normative or collective. I am proud because my teachers told me that I am good listener. Self-knowledge is self-mastery of self-apprehension. I know many ways that I'm good listener. In the fact I can listen while I read, I've done the several times. The self-concept is comprised of oneself schemas as interacts favorably with self-esteem, self-knowledge, and social self in order to design the self fully. Self-concept, self-schemas, past self, present self, future, possible selves. Self-concept. The study of Selva 2005 and attitudes toward family, gender, interpersonal relationships, and self-concept in relation to academic performance. Basis for the guidance services program was considered as one of the evidence coming up with this finding. 1. Study respondents are all adolescents in the third year level aging 15 years old. 2. Respondents have severe emotional conflict towards father, thought they have positive attitudes towards family. 3. Students have healthy concepts about women and her sexual relationship. 4. Respondents have a feeling of uncomfortable relation with friend. 5. Students have will adjust in interpersonal relationship with per group in terms of handling and managing group works activities. 6. Students have emotional disturbance toward peers and guilt feelings which may have been caused by emotional conflict experience from fathers. 7. There is no significant relationship between respondents' attitude towards the different areas of adjustment as a family, gender, interpersonal relationship, and self-concept. In view of Silva's finding, the following recommendations were offered. 1. The Parents and Teachers Associations, PTA. 2. Gender and Development. 3. The Department of Education. 4. Religious organizations like Youth for Christ. 5. Resource speakers should be tapped for students' personally development seminars as well as developing their self-concept. 6. Faculty should be sent to post-education studies, training, and seminars to further equip themselves with more strategies in the effective teaching learning process. 7. The a therapeutic aid from an expert of trained behavior should be given to the students with who announce severe emotion and disturbance. Attitude, a family, gender, interpersonal relationship, self-concept. Students' academic performance, sentence completion, test, questionnaire basis for analysis and interpretation, guidance service.